What's up, team? Happy Wednesday. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Hope you're doing well out there in the ether. I wanted to share something really cool with you guys that I'm quite giddy about. A cheeky little sneak release on you guys inside of Land Insights. We've been dreaming this up for a long time, and it's finally here. This is our Subdivide Snapshot tool within the Land Insights comping tool. So if you're on Pro, go into the comping tool. We've got this behemoth of a property here, 547 acres. And what you're going to do is you're going to come over to this research panel, and you're going to click on Subdivide Potential. Boom! See, you got all of this broken down here. So one of the cool things is you can look at this insights section. It's going to show you sell-through rate. It's going to show you the multiple, so the price-per-acre arbitrage that you could expect. One of the cool things that I really like is it breaks down the exemption. So Texas statewide exemption requires lots larger than 10 acres, yada, 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 yada. So really, really cool. And then you can actually come down here and you can see the arbitrage multiple broken down by size. What you'll notice is every single market has size brackets for child lots that are outliers in terms of the multiple that you can get, and it's not always rational. It's not always just go as small as possible. That's usually the thinking, right? Buy as big of properties as you can and go as small as possible. And of course, within reason, that kind of makes sense. But what you'll actually notice is there are brackets or pockets where there's just a lot of demand for a certain property type. Call it a 5 acre, 10 acre, 20 acre, 2 acre, whatever that market's determined as, like, this is the gold standard for what's in demand in that market. For example, if you're in rural Oklahoma, creating quarter acres might not be actually as valuable as creating 5 acres. And there's way more demand for 5 acres, and the multiple is still very, very strong. And so what we want to balance here is a couple points. We want to balance, obviously, the sell-through rate, right? There's a lot of subdivides that I see where people break them down into the smallest increment because the arbitrage looks strong, but there ain't no one there that wants to buy it. So we want to balance the sell-through rate with that arbitrage multiple and price per acre, right? There are some markets right now in America where the math is insane. Right? Take a 40 acre, chop it into 4 10 acres, and you get a 5x multiple on price per acre. There are also some markets in America right now where take a 40 acre, chop it up into 4 10 acres, and you only get a 40% lift on price per acre. Every market is slightly different, right? So we want to look at that arbitrage multiple, and we want to see how much demand is there in the market. But we also need to balance that with the complexity of the subdivide, right? You want to find that path of least resistance with the most upside. And it's about kind of balancing those two ideas. For example, I'm working on a subdivide. I shared this on Instagram yesterday. 80 acre tract, beautiful piece of land, tons of road frontage. Now we can take it down to 10 acres and more than double our money, okay? Or we can take it down to 5 acres and we pretty much triple our money just on a price per acre basis, but way more complex. We can't create that density off of the road, just rules for these roads that the property abuts. So we have to build a private road. And the private road is going to also eat into the property. So it eats about 5 acres of our land, plus you have the cost of the private road, there's road requirements, plus that road intersects wetlands, so we then have to deal with that. So it's about balancing complexity with that arbitrage and with that sell-through rate. And so just to be able to quickly see that for any property, fucking huge, right? Because if you're a beginner, you might not know these things, or if you have a team, they might not know these things. And so instant visibility for every deal that comes through your pipeline means that you're going to unlock hidden value that you otherwise would have missed. You might have looked at a property as a flip, but actually there's an exemption-based subdivide play, or you might have looked at it as an exemption-based subdivide, but you avoid a bad deal. You realize there's not demand there for that size range. The arbitrage isn't strong, but if I go a major and I take it down to, let's say, 5 acres, now the math makes sense. And oh, by the way, that major subdivide process looks like this. And the really cool thing is if you're using the Land Insights MCP or API integration, you can also have AI enrich that data for you. So it can go pull all of the major subdivide plat requirements, show you all of that. And so it's just like a peanut butter and jelly combination that's absolutely bananas. I'm really excited about this. Log into your account, go check it out, play with it, and go do some big deals.